Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How was our first day of fasting? Good, alhamdulillah. You know, sometimes one of the objectives of fasting is that we must feel the fast. Okay, it's not that okay, well, I didn't feel hungry. I mean, we all should feel hungry. So normally if you eat one paratha, for suhoor you cannot increase it to 3. Or you eating 4 ounces of pakura and then for suhoor you take it to 8 ounces. You're catering for the meals that you miss. The objective of the fast is to feel the pangs of hunger, to deprive the body of the food so that it can connect with Allah. You know, when the stomach is too filled, the connection is not too good with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so that's the objective, really, to let the body, in relation to the desire of the movement, is minimized so that we connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there are a couple of things that some brothers asked yesterday and some sisters. So very quickly, we won't take much time, but we'll try to address this as early as possible. And one of it is that if you come late for Salah, if you come late for Salatul Isha, you miss Salatul Isha, and you come in and Tarawih is on, do not go and make a separate Jama'ah and pray Isha. The right thing to do is to join the Tarawih with the intention of your Salatul Isha. Okay? Your Isha, because you missed the Isha Salat, you join the Imam leading the Tarawih. And when he finishes, whenever he finishes, you stand up and you complete your rest of your Salat and will be considered Salatul Isha. So don't go and start a separate Jama'ah. That's, it's not the best way to do it. So if ever you come late, try not to do that. The other thing is, our question was asked about suhoor. What about if you miss suhoor in the morning? What do you do, guys? If you miss suhoor, you wake up late, you put your alarm, and the alarm, when somehow the other it didn't come on, you wake up and it's already time for Fajr. What do you do? Anybody? What do you do? No? You should continue the fasting. Alright? You should continue the fast without eating anything. It's okay to do that. And of course, if you wake up, as the Prophet ﷺ said, "Tasaharru fa inni fi suhuri barakah." Do not miss suhoor because there is barakah in suhoor. What it means, that even a sip of water, when the Prophet says that there is barakah in it, it means a sip of water or a piece of date. Allah will give that barakah to nourish your body for the fasting. That's what it means. That is spiritual connection and the spiritual alignment of how you take food and you connect it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So do not miss suhoor. So if you're in the bed and probably you went after Salatul Tarawih, you go home and you eat late and says, man, I'm good, so I'm not going to wake up. Don't do that. Wake up, even a sip of water is good for suhoor. It's very, very important. Do not miss it, for the Prophet says, take suhoor as there is barakah in suhoor. There is blessings in suhoor. The other question was asked was, who are the people that can abstain from fasting? All right? Who are the people that can abstain from fasting? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in the Quran, right? That those who are sick or you're traveling. Okay? This is something that you have a rukhsah. And whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give an option, it is better to accept the option that Allah gives you. Okay? So if you're going on a long travel, you're allowed to postpone your fast and make it up later. Right? Don't tell yourself, well, I have the ability, I can do it. All right, in as much as it is permissible to do it, it will be better, because here Allah is the Lord of the world, is offering you a gift. And this is how the ulama puts it. Who are you and I who refuse a gift from Allah? Even if you give somebody a gift and they refuse that gift from you, it hurts you. Isn't that? So you accept a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you're traveling, and for women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, okay, they can do that. And this is a question also that was asked, and Abdullah ibn Umar and Ibn Abbas, they address it. And Shaykh Uthaymeen, rahimahullah ta'ala, he has a very strong opinion in it. Because sometimes sisters, they become pregnant, they have their baby, then they breastfeed. And so they miss that whole year of the fasting. And then what happens? The other year, again, they become pregnant. And so the fasting keep piles up on them, 1 year after the other. What do we do in a situation like that? All right? And so a lot of the scholars are of the view that you can do the fidya, but for the sisters, and if you have the time later, inshallah, make up for that fast. But Islam is day2 Saheb. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants ease for us. He always wants something easy for us and not to create hardship. So this is very important. The sick person who fear that sickness would increase. All right? And again, this is the whole idea of our intention of how we look at fasting and our sickness. All right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very merciful. Allah is very merciful, really, to His servants, and He doesn't want to create hardship. So if you're sick, then you are allowed to put it away. Also, people who are very old and senile and they cannot fast. All right? This is another thing. And so the recommendation is to do fidya, especially for those people who know that they cannot able to make up for that fast. They're old and they're very feeble and they cannot. And the fidya is feeding one poor person, a needy person, a meal a day. Okay? And you can do it here or you can do it in any part of the world. But generally the scholars are of the view that where you live, if you live in the US, then the fidya should be calculated where you live. You cannot calculate your fidya in Pakistan and say, okay, $2 US can feed so many. You don't do that. You calculate how much would be a meal in the US, in New Jersey, in Saraville, in Portland, or wherever you live, and you give that. Okay, so this is what, again, if you cannot really fast for genuine reason, for genuine causes, but do not miss your fidya. Also for people who go through extreme hunger, let's say for example, you fast, right? And you become extremely hungry and extremely thirsty. Does it mean that you should continue keeping the fast even if it becomes detrimental? No. And again, this is the intention. It is not that just you break the fast because remember, you have to make it up anyway, right? And you know how hard it is to make up a fast in Ramadan, out of Ramadan. In Ramadan, there is special barakah, right? You fast and you don't feel it much. But when you have to make up, and all due respect to our sisters, may Allah bless them, they make up 1 month of fast out of Ramadan. How they do it, Allah knows best. But that's not very easy to do. And that is the reason why in Sha'ban, the Prophet ﷺ used to do solidarity fast with his families. Right? And that is why many times he used to fast in Sha'ban for many days, because he used to fast along with his wives so that he could encourage them to fast and to make up for their fast. Right? So this is one of the things. So if you are in extreme hunger, extreme thirst, you can. Right? There is no reason that it's okay, I will have to, go through it. No, absolutely not. Somebody asked a question, can you brush your teeth? Absolutely brush your teeth, nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong to brush your teeth. Some people feel that you cannot brush your teeth. No, you can brush your teeth. But make sure, when you make wudu and you gargle, do not sniff water that goes through into the system. Another question was asked about inhaler. All right, if you could use inhaler. There are 2 types of inhaler. Any doctors here? Any doctor in the Jama'ah, in the crowd? Inhaler, there is one that is gaseous, and there is one that has particle that can get into it. Sheikh Uthaymeen rahimahullah says that the one that is gaseous, there is nothing wrong to use that. But anyone that you fill into the stuff and put it in where it gathers moisture and goes through into the lungs, that's what is not allowed. But the gaseous one is allowed. For people with diabetes, you can take your insulin, absolutely nothing wrong with that. As long you are not taking anything that gives you nutrition, right? Or an injection that gives you nutrition that you should not feel hungry. You cannot do that. But for insulin and stuff like that, you can fast and still take your insulin and complete your duties towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These were some of the questions or some of the concern that people had as regards to some of this. So inshallah we'll try to address some of these night by night, and we'd like to encourage each one of you. You can notice that the kufars we are reciting, most likely we'll be doing one juz for 2 nights. So please follow up and able to read the translation. Whenever we have the opportunity, we can able to explain the juz, we will do that. But we'll encourage you to, inshallah, to as much as possible, to try to follow up by reading the portion or the passage that they will be reciting, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. And for all the answers to this, Allah knows best, but we try our best, to the best of our ability, to ensure that we fulfill our obligations to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Hafiz Abdul Rahman al-Sa'dawi from Masjid al-Wali. He's here tonight. He will be one of our guest reciters, inshallah. He will be reciting the last 2 and the witr. So, ahlan wa sahlan ya akhi. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.